And my 4 rolls of film. And my flat. And my watch.
So now you're going to take lots of pictures.
Happily.
Yeah, I do. Hold on. Before more moves, I need 1 photo for Christmas.
Oh, no, don't for Christmas. I don't want to.
Just looks like you're saying hi.
Welcome back, everybody. It is that time of the year, and I thought I would bring you my OMTC unsponsored gift guide all in one take because that is what we have time for. So this is going to be a bit chaotic, but I just wanted to run you through the things that I have come to rely on. It is very broad. It's not just photography stuff, but just general things that I love that I would happily give to anybody else. And we are going to start with some of the photography stuff. Then we'll move into, I'm just looking here, some of the more like artistic expression stuff, some electronics and gadgets, things that I can't live without that sort of bleeds into travel items that I require in my life, and then wrap it up with some books. All right, let's do this. So for starters, the first thing I'm gonna say is a Digicam, right? Because they are just so fun and they are so cheap. Not the ones that have grown in hype. Don't get those, they're overpriced. So yes, I'm part of the problem, but you can still find these ridiculous fun things. This is the camera I've been shooting for my 1 megapixel challenge, and it has been phenomenal. It's literally 1 megapixel. It takes CF cards. It just comes out of this door here. It's got this little lever on the bottom, and out flies your CF card. And the photos are terrible, and they're so great as a result. I just love them. They're really fun, and it brings a little levity into life, and I just can't recommend a Digicam enough. There are many resources out there. I have covered a ton of them, but honestly, just pick up anything. Get it cheap and just use it. Have fun and move on with your life. Okay, camcorders. Similar vibe. I have camcorders from all different eras, and I adore the camcorder. This is my Canon FS200. Brilliant because it's so small and it takes SD cards, which is a big deal. These are great because they use tape. They're very analog. So this one takes, what do they call that? Mini DV tapes, and this takes high 8 tapes. These are awesome cameras. This is the PC1. This is the H66 something. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, great. Also, I have a ton of tapes from my childhood, so I've been using these to be able to transfer into digital format a lot of my childhood memories. You need something to then download your Digicam photos. For example, something like this, a multi-format card reader. This one is just readily available. It doesn't take all the formats, so it doesn't take Sony memory sticks and things like that, but it takes SD, mini SD, or micro SD, and CF. That is the majority of what I use. So this one works out really well. Obviously, all of this stuff will be linked down below. I do love to have a physical manifestation of my photos. I make photo books that I order online for things that are important, like family vacations, and I have 1 book for every vacation. I have these like monthly mini books that I get as well. But I love in the very moment to do less awesome in terms of quality, but very awesome in terms of memorability, these little prints. So I have a big journal. I like having a big journal to keep my notes in, my thoughts. I really believe in journaling. I don't get enough time for it.
I'll keep the first journal. These are all journals. 13, and I am keeping this one too, because this was when I first moved to New York, and it was like an epic transition for me.
You have a lot of pictures in there too.
And I have a lot of pictures.
I like to put lots of pictures in here as an example of just moments as we're living them. It's just such a nice way to associate photos outside of my camera roll on my phone, which, let's be honest, I'll never look back at. So that is something I recommend. And then I like having some really colorful pens to, again, just vary the format. I have my date in green, my text in pink, and then orange on the next page, whatever. It's just fun, visual ways of expressing my day-to-day thoughts. To print those photos, I recommend every printer on the earth. I like having everything. So I have this amazing Canon Selfie QX20. This is so fun because it prints both square format and what is that, like rectangular format. They're small, but awesome. Then I have a Polaroid high print. It only does the rectangular small format. Think of like an Instax mini size, and they are both great. And then I have the old, well, for me, this isn't, they have newer versions, but I've had this forever, an Instax printer. So I have an SP2 that I print Instax photos, and I put all of these into my journals.
My mom just found another box with 12 additional journals. I was a journaling fanatic.
Label maker. I have to label everything. I label all of my Ziploc bags with different battery chargers. I label my camera batteries. I label all kinds of stuff. I have to label stuff, otherwise I lose track, and I need precision in my life. This is a really cheap label printer that I got off of Amazon. It's called a Nimbot, and I love it. It was so cheap, I was like, this will never last. It's gonna be like some trash thing, but it will work in the moment. And I've had it now for like 3 years. It has not done me wrong, and I love it. Hard drives. I mean, for YouTube, for photo storage, for everything. I am particularly in love with these Samsung T7 Shield drives. I don't really have a lot of opinion on which drive, but I do want it to be solid state at this point. I feel like we're probably on from any kind of disk-based drive, but I think these are great. I like that they're rubberized because I can keep them and they don't slip around. For photo editing, I think one thing that can be really helpful is to get some presets and then look at what they're doing. This becomes harder when it's profiles, because profiles bake in a bunch of actions that you don't see. But if it's a preset, you can see what the preset is doing and teach yourself how to alter the different properties within Lightroom to learn how to color grade or photo edit or whatever you want to call it. The Lightroom presets that I like the most, I will list in kind of sort of like lowest price to highest price. I would say Luca Bono, I think that's his name. He's a YouTube creator, and he made like a 5 preset pack, which is really lovely. It's very good, and it's worked on a lot of my images. Adrian Seguenti, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Beautiful creator here on YouTube. I really like his stuff. He's in Japan, does a really nice job. His images are gorgeous, and he has a new preset pack, so I would recommend V2. Dave Herring, of course, friend of the channel, very good presets. He has a bunch of amazing presets that he sells there. Benj Heich has an incredible Cascade preset pack. Eric Floberg, also on YouTube. I'm sorry, like a lot of these people are YouTubers, but they're also great preset makers. And Archetype Process. These are awesome, but expensive. So I do want to caveat that these have gotten even more expensive recently. They've been updated and they are amazing now, but they've broken them into multiple packs. It used to be you'd buy one pack and it had all of these things in it. Now it's broken into multiple packs and it's much more expensive. So for me, the 400, I'm sorry, it's green. I think green 1 or 2, I'll list it down below. But one of the green packs is 400H. It's probably my favorite. Okay, now they're chopping trees outside. Obviously, if you're gonna be filming yourself for YouTube, you're gonna need something to film yourself with. This is being filmed with a Sony ZV-1 as a point of reference to say you can buy like a $450 camera and it can be your day-to-day shooter, it can be your YouTube camera, it can be everything. It's a great camera and I highly recommend it. On my larger cameras, like I have a Panasonic S5 II that I used pretty much every video you've seen on this channel has used an ND filter because it was a mirrorless camera and it doesn't have built-in ND. So I need to use that to be able to get my 24 frames per second or my 48 shutter speed. This is the Freewell V2 set. So this is really awesome actually. This is a circular polarizer. It's also got ND. It also is magnetic. So you can add things like this glow filter. So this has like a quarter mist on it. It has I don't honestly use this. I just put everything in this bag, but this is like the lens cap it attaches to. And then the most critical part to me is the fact that it has these essentially it's like step-up rings, because I use this on a lot of different lenses and they all have different filter threads. Come on. Now, of course, I can't get it out. Okay, it's a strong magnet. So it has these filter threads that are just easy to, well, I mean, usually easy to come in and out, but I'm sorry, I'm like talking and you can't even see it. These are what secure both the angle of the CPL and the insert here. So, and then you can adjust things like the ND on the top. I'm doing a very bad job of explaining this, but let me just say that, again, I have used this on pretty much every video minus this one where I'm not using anything, not even the built-in ND, which is also a really big upside of the Sony ZV-1. And I also have in here a cute little gray card. If lighting conditions are really difficult, I just like to have this. I quickly get a white balance reading off of this. I lock my white balance when I'm filming myself so I don't have to deal with a lot of crap in post. And one thing that's not here is similar to this, but a bit bigger, a 5-in-1 reflector. So awesome. Those things are so cheap. They're like $10 or something, and so useful if you're shooting either stills or video. I often use those like in my living room just to bounce a little light up because I don't have the ideal space to record anything, honestly. But it's very handy. And then I just have this all wrapped up in a little kit like this, and I carry it with me. This is my little filming kit. All right, what else do we have here? Oh, a reading light. I'm a nerd. Let's just say I'm a parent officially now because I have this reading light. It's called the 86 Lux. It's really cheap on Amazon, and it's USB-C charged, and it's just lovely. It has 3 levels of power, 3 shades of light, and it bends, it swivels, and you just put it like a bookmarker in your book and you read. The small things in life, my friends, are really what bring me joy. Travel, I do a lot of, increasingly so, and I just want to carry nothing when I travel. I never check baggage, so I have to find the smallest, most multifaceted ways of minimizing my kit for life. So the first thing I'm gonna say, this ridiculous thing, it's a folding toothbrush. It's like a basic item, but honestly, it's such a game changer because it's so small. It just opens up like this, and then you have a toothbrush. Again, small things bring me joy, but this is honestly something I cannot live without. Charger. This little USB brick, like it's a plug-in wall charger. It takes USB-C and what do we call that? Just regular USB, the old school USB here. And then the best part is this flips out and you can charge an Apple Watch. I don't wear an Apple Watch 90% of the time, but when I travel, I always have it on me because I'm constantly getting emails and Teams pings and whatnot. So this is great for travel. Then, one USB charge is never going to be enough for me. So I have a relatively small but very powerful Anchor charger here. This can charge my laptop. My iPad has 2 USB-C and 1 standard USB. And this thing is just the perfect size. And I've tested this out many times. I was like, I thought I'd need more ports than this, but between these 2 things, I can charge everything I need and never feel like I'm gonna run out of power. This is a travel speaker. It is also waterproof. I'm a real crazy person and I like to always be listening to something or whatever. So this is also waterproof, and I put it in the shower and I listen to podcasts in the shower or in the bath or whatever. And I love that, but it's also just a general great speaker. It actually has a really good power behind it. It's USB-C chargeable. This is a theme for me. I really want USB-C charging on everything now. And yeah, I love it. Power bank. This is definitely, I can't live without. I charge my phone on the go all the time. It's always dying. I have an old phone, so it just doesn't hold power very well, but this is a sort of like no brand, Inu, I don't know what they are. They're not. I've had Anchor chargers. I've had them all. This just happened to be cheap and have a really high power output as well as can juice up my phone like multiple times, and I really like it. So that's what I use. If you're particular about coffee, like I am, then another thing, and this is completely over the top, excessive, unnecessary, but if you have like a husband or a partner who has everything and you can't think what to get them, I can't tell you how much I love this thing. I use it every single day and I absolutely cannot live without it. This is my Ember cup. It says Ember over here. This is my Ember cup and it plugs in over here to the wall. You just leave it. It's a charger. This is a charger. You leave it, you connect it to your iPhone. You can choose the temperature at which you want it to retain liquids to be at, and then your coffee, your tea, your beverage of any choice stays at a particular temperature for up to like an hour and a half, I think. And I'm a very slow coffee drinker, so for me this saves me in the morning because I can literally like have a sip, get my kids dressed, go back to my desk, have another sip, answer an email, finish up breakfast, have another sip, and then go to work after drop off, and it's still hot. I love this thing so, so much. I don't travel with the Ember cup. I do travel with this. This is overpriced, but I bought it because it does a very particular thing. It's a coffee cone and it flattens down to this size. I've seen the silicone ones, but then you have to carry paper. This is an all-in-one contraption, and you just put your coffee grounds in here and you have a pour over. The case serves as the holder for it. And then you put this on your cup and you have your pour over, and I carry with me because I am a crazy person. I understand. I don't like the taste of water from hotel coffee makers. It has a flavor that is just nasty. So I bring my own coffee maker. I'm sorry, my own water heater. This is really basic, easy, just a container. It's an electric kettle. It's an electric kettle. And these are the things I must travel with. And before we move on to books, I am going to share one last thing that I need on my desk at all times. This is so small, but again, the devil is in the details. This is just a cube that sits on my desk, and you see the little divot in it. It holds the cord to my computer so that my computer cord doesn't slide down every time I detach the power charger from my computer, which is all the time because I'm jumping back and forth in this office. I'm going to my desk. I'm going to the office itself. This is such a dumb thing, guys. Like, I just don't want to bend down and pick up my cord every time. So yeah, I love this. And lastly, some books, okay? Generally speaking, my gift guide is always going to contain books. I did not go through and curate this. I literally just grabbed the pile of books that was on my dresser. So I'm just going to show you what I've been looking at recently, but there are so many good books out there. Matt Day always does a genius job of covering all these great photographic books. So go look at his channel if you want more in-depth information. This was a gift from my mother. It's a biography of Vivian Maier. We have this book, Jill Meyerowitz, Question of Color, which I read a long time ago, and right when it came out, so not that long ago. It's a recent book. Great book, though. I really enjoyed diving into his sort of analysis of color versus black and white. Olivia B. Yeah, can you tell that I love used books? I mean, this is a library book. I got it for like $3, but I really like Olivia B's work. It's really sort of sensual. Oh, such a classic. Larry Sultan, Pictures from Home. You will also see a theme here. I like anything to do with sort of captured life, reportage, and family photography. Now, this is not captured life reportage. He staged a lot of these photos, but they are brilliant. And the format that he did it in, where it's like full bleed photos and then mixed in with like journal entries. It's just amazing. This is one of my favorite books of all time. Contact High. This is a relatively new book, kind of going through hip hop in its various historical moments, the visual history of hip hop. It is so cool, like contact sheets. Really, really great. This is from Vicky Tobeck. Great book. Luigi Giri, another wonderful photographer with upside down. This one is called Kodachrome. These were all of his Kodachrome shots, and they're really, they're really awesome. He's just a unique artist, and I have a few of his books. He's really good. Christopher Anderson. Oh, just love his work. Pia, he has 3 of these books. These are all about his family, and they're just absolutely wonderful images. I mean, where do you even begin? I just love Christopher Anderson. This is Tania Franco Klein. She is a Mexican artist and also very, very beautiful. This is a really cool book. She had it done with like a velvet cover, very handcrafted, and yeah, it's really nice. It's a completely different spine. I mean, it feels very hands-on, and she signed it for me. She's wonderful. Check out her work if you don't know it. Dorothea Lange, Words and Pictures. I think I've talked about this book. Just, again, the format of this is stunning. I love book layouts. I'm the least talented graphic designer of anyone I've ever met, but the way this was all laid out just woos me in every way. FaceTime, A History of the Photographic Portrait. Quite an interesting book. Can you see how dusty this is? Oh, so sad. Haven't opened these in a few weeks at least. But this is just an interesting overview, historical overview of portraits taken by various artists over time. It's a Thames Hudson book. I'm gonna try to go faster here. Winogrand, color, classic. What can I say? Winogrand is a brilliant artist. He actually is not that great in color, which is kind of wonderful to see. It's good to see that everyone has strengths. And like, I think he was more of a black and white artist, but I still love all of these color photographs. And a number of the reasons that I love them is because I like to look at the actual way that the film worked. I'm very much into analyzing the historical properties of film. So, because a lot of, Kodachrome is probably what he was shooting, and that just doesn't exist anymore. So this one is also amazing. Witness to Beauty. This is a Sage Sawyer book, and this one just personally resonated. Her mom was a model. My mom was a model. It was all about documenting her mother's age, and it was just, very, very beautiful. All right, last one on here is Mid-Century Moments. This is such a fun book. Again, a kind of deep look at Kodachrome, which is why I got it, because that was primary film people were shooting. But a lot of these were found images, and they're just wonderful. I just love them. Real captured moment stuff, great color. I mean, come on. I've got a lot of bookmarks in this one. The last thing I'll say is pick up a copy of Wired magazine. Just ran this article that this writer, Brendan, had reached out to me about when he was writing it. And it's just an awesome piece. I will link it down below. It's such, I think it honored the Digicam community and the general community of people looking to do things a little differently for artistic reasons, because we're all a little tired of like really beautiful, polished computational imagery. Not that there's not a place for that. Definitely there is, but it's a great article. So go pick up a Wired magazine and say, give them a shout and say that article was great, because it was. And that is my holiday OMTC gift guide for 2024. Oh, I didn't even mention, I do have a bunch of stuff for sale as well. A lot of cameras. I should have probably put that at the upfront. I have a lot of cameras for sale as well that I will link down below. At the moment, it's just a giant spreadsheet because I just haven't had time to take pictures of everything. But if you have any questions, you can just email me at onemonth2cameras@gmail.com and I can send you pictures. I can send you whatever you need. And that's going to be this video. I love you guys. Have an amazing holiday season if I don't see you before the new year. And until next time.
What was that song you were going to sing me, the Christmas song? About getting up early in the morning? Can you sing it?
No.
Alright, well she can't sing it. So we'll see you later.